and welcome to my podcast. Today I am super excited because I have with me Paulina Gutierrez. Paulina Gutierrez has a bachelor's in child development from Cal State LA, and she was part of the Avance Residency Program from LMU from 1 year. And this is how I met her. She was my mentee for that year, and we got to collaborate together. And because she did an amazing job, she was hired to become my co-teacher the following year. And she became a fourth grade dual language teacher at City Language Immersion Charter. So, Paulina, thank you very much for coming to my podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Me too. Me too. So, we're going to start right away.
Yeah.
Right away. My first question for you is can you talk to us a little bit about the program you followed to become a teacher? So, how did you find out about the Avance Residency Program? How did that go for you? And anything you want to share about that program?
Yeah. I was actually working as a TA at New LA Elementary. I had already gotten my bachelor's in child development.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like just at a standstill. I knew I wanted to be a teacher, but I didn't know like what came next after my bachelor's. And I think they just put up flyers randomly in the school bathroom one day, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh, it's a pathway to become a teacher. And I noticed that they were paying like 50% of the tuition, and it was going to be part of LMU, and LMU's a private, so I knew it was going to be expensive. So I really liked that they offered like 50% that they were going to pay.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned from it, and then I like just signed up, and then they had like a whole process of interviews and like fishbowl interviews and answering questions, essays and stuff that I had to turn in.
Yeah.
But after that, I finally did all that. They accepted me, and I started my 1-year residency. And that's where they paired me with a teacher, and it was Miss Guadra. Yes, at Click. It was bittersweet because I did want to stay at the elementary that I was already in, because I was there for, I think, 3 years.
Oh, wow.
At that time.
Yeah.
And I really, really loved it. It was like my first elementary scene, so I fell in love with it.
Your first teaching experience.
Yeah, first teaching, like being in the
classroom. Can I ask you like a question? Sorry, what was your, because I feel like there's something calling you to be a teacher. There's something in you that says like, oh, you have been called to be a teacher. So what was your calling to become an educator?
I always wanted to be a teacher, like from kindergarten. Like that was always when I would write, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would be a teacher.
Yeah.
And I think that was just because of the teachers that I had growing up. They were like the sweetest, most amazing teachers that made me excited to go to school. And I love school, and I love doing homework and classwork. And I hate it when I would like miss a day of school.
Oh, wow.
That's like how much I loved it. So
is this something that your family also encouraged in you? Did they say like, oh, education is very important, or the teachers really did a good job encouraging you to go to school and making it a good experience?
Yeah, I think my parents like did, but it wasn't so much where like that's where I got it from. It was really like the teachers that I've had like all of elementary.
Wow.
Like they were literally like the best. Like I remember each and every one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what like kind of led me to want to be a teacher, and I like kept that throughout all my years, so I did it.
Yeah. Even now.
Yeah.
As an educator, you really throw that. Okay, so you were selected to be part of the Avance Residency Program, and the selection process is very strict.
Yeah.
So they really, really make sure it's somebody who is well prepared to be a teacher. So you were selected, and then and you were placed in Click City Language Immersion Charter. is it because you wanted to be a dual language teacher, or they chose it for you?
In the application, there was a little box that said, "Are you interested in speaking or teaching in Spanish or something like that?" And I didn't really think much of it. I was like, "Okay, sure."
Okay.
And then I clicked it.
Yeah.
And then when it got to the time when they were choosing schools, they told me like, "Oh, there's not a lot of schools that are only English, and we have a school that is dual language, but not many students or not many people chose to do that." And yeah, he told me like, "Oh, you and like some other one chose."
Oh,
and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it then."
Okay.
But it wasn't like something I was seeking. I didn't even know what it was when I did it. I just thought like, "Oh, sure, I'm gonna just click it."
Wow, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
Because your Spanish is amazing, so.
Yeah. I like my first language was Spanish, so I know Spanish. I just didn't know like there's an actual school where you teach in full Spanish.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like here and there.
Yeah.
But it's like when I went in there, I was like, oh no, like you're teaching from beginning to end for Spanish.
Yeah.
So that was definitely like an awakening when I got there, and I was like, oh, I don't think my Spanish is that good that I can teach from beginning
really
to end. But yeah, I'm really glad that I did end up clicking that box because it opened like me to different opportunities that I didn't even know.
Yeah. So you were placed at Click, and how was the experience of, because you were pretty much doing your student teaching every year, Monday through Friday, except Wednesdays, which is where you had your lessons. So how was the experience of having your classes on Wednesdays and then practicing everything at school, being in the classroom full day? Like how did that happen?
It was definitely difficult. Like it was a lot. The beginning, like 2 months, it was like there was always something that you had to do every day. But the classes did like coincide with what was happening in the classroom. So I did learn a lot, and then I was able to implement those things in the classroom. And with the residency in Avance, they really worked on like giving you skills that you were going to use in the classroom, not only like reading books or like going through theories, but they would like do small groups and where they talked about, okay, what happened in the classroom last week, and then we would have to give them like a scenario that happened, and then they would like help us to learn how to deal with those situations, so that when we go back to the classroom, we would know like a little bit more. Yeah, so that was really helpful. But when it came to like the tests and all the exams that we had to take like near the end, that was like, and then that was like around the time where we had to do our takeover. And it was like everything just popped up at the end, but it was like once it was done, it was like, okay, they set up this whole year like to a T, so they knew we were gonna get everything done by the end of the year.
Wow. Yeah. So do you feel like, because it was kind of divided in 3 stages, like this is what I remember as a mentor, so at the beginning you have like 3 months of observing and just taking over little by little, like taking over one activity at a time, and then the second trimester you take over a little bit more, and then the third trimester you pretty much take over everything, like the planning, the activities and everything. So what do you take from the first trimester where you were just observing and it was like, oh, this is what's actually happening, and then little by little transitioning into taking over, because you took over my classroom and it was such a good job. So how was it for you?
Yeah, of course, like first couple of months, like taking notes on like how you would do things in your classroom, because of course they even told us like, oh, observe and take notes, because you don't want to go in there and just change everything, because it will be like kind of shifty for the students, but you want to learn what your teachers are doing because they're the experts, and then what can you do to like add to that. So like even like what would you say in the morning, I would write down, like you would go over the agenda, you would sit in the chair, and then I would like write that down, and then when I would take over, I would do the exact same thing. I would go and sit and I'll go over the agenda, and just like following your schedules and like the way you like group students, or like the way that you would handle like behaviors, like all of that I would write down, and I would try to emulate or like do the same thing when it was my takeover, just so like it could be like cohesive and they could like know like we're a team, like all of this, we did it together.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a super good like layout, like observing, and then I think I took over like one lesson in the middle, like each week, and it'll be like short lessons, and it'll be like easier lessons like SEL or something that I could take over first, and then gradually I was like, when I would get the hang of it, I think when I got to the takeover, I was more confident to actually take over a whole day in I think a week. Yeah, so that was nice.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, you were such an amazing mentee because you would be open to any feedback. Any feedback, like no matter what, you were so reflective and always trying better. Like, okay, I can do this better next time. Oh, I can fix this. Okay. And you pay attention to every little detail. So I think, I don't know, like, we're going to move forward to this later, but that's why you had such an amazing first year as a teacher, like taking over your own classroom and doing your own thing. I was impressed. Honestly, I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is flying right now. She's just taking over and doing amazing. So I have to say, what were the things that made it easier for you as a mentee to work with a mentor? Or what can a mentor do to help student teachers transition or into teaching or to do a better job in the classroom?
Yeah, I think you as a mentor were really good at like being flexible and like allowing me to do like anything I wanted. Like if I gave you an idea, you're like, yeah, do it. And like kind of pushed me, or when I was like a little shy and kind of like reserved, like you really pushed me to like go and like you can do it, just go. And yeah, that was really nice, not knowing that I was like restricted or like I had to follow a certain thing. And you were always like helpful with questions. Like when I came into this program, I knew nothing about teaching at all. Like child development, they didn't really cover teaching. It was more like the development of a child.
Yeah.
So this was like my first experience, like learning how to lesson plan, learning how to create a lesson, how to look up standards and how to connect them, how to make activities. So all of that was new. So I was kind of like scared, like I don't know anything. But you were like so calm and so reassuring, and you would like really guide me step by step, like look here for the standard, and then from the standard go to the lesson plan, and how to add like English learner supports, or how do you look at an IEP, and all of that I didn't know at all. So just someone who is like helpful and open and like able to adapt to like someone else's personality, like it's someone completely new, and I think that is like really opening and welcoming, and you feel like comfortable to go and try things and build as a teacher.
Oh, well, that's so nice. I also think like having a student teacher is so helpful for any teacher, honestly, because there's so much contribution in any way. But thank you for highlighting that. So how do you feel like the lessons prepare you for your first year as a homeroom teacher? Because after your student teaching, we realized that you did an amazing job and you would be an amazing fit for the school, and that's why you were invited to come next year. How do you feel like the student teaching plus the lessons help you be a homeroom teacher the following year?
Yeah, I think it helped me even with like the little stuff, with knowing how to greet students in the morning. Like I would have never thought stand at the door and give each one of them a fist bump, and that's something I still do because I saw from you that I still do to this day. Like every morning I give them a fist bump when they walk in. Or like certain activities like circle time, I do the exact same circle time that I watched you do. I still do it in my classroom. And I think just taking those things and seeing like, oh, what can I use and what did I like from that classroom, and then of course like adapting other things and adding other things. And like lesson planning, I still do the same thing. I still grab lessons from last year that I remember, and I'm like, oh, I remember she was doing this, and then I do it now. And it's like just grabbing things and learning from the whole year, and I just use whatever I remember and everything.
Wow.
And using it.
That's so amazing. And like, do you also feel like the lessons you got like on Wednesdays and then the full day of training that you had once a month also helped you establish yourself as a homeroom teacher? Or you feel like observing and practicing and being a student teacher was what helped you the most?
Yeah, definitely. I think being in the classroom helped me. Like, once in a while, I'll remember something that I learned in class. But not really. Like, what really helped me was being in the classroom and observing a teacher and taking down notes on what the teacher did. Way more over than what I learned in the classes. Yeah.
Interesting. So I have to say, the following year, you really took over your classroom. You created your own classroom culture, and you gave it your own flavor. And I was so proud of that. I was like, oh my gosh, you really made it yours. You made your classroom yours. You made your activities yours. And in the self-confidence that I also saw in you taking over, your students and doing your own community builders. So I remember my first year teaching. I was terrified. I was terrified all year. So, and I noticed this change from you, like from the end of the year and then the summer, and then you came back like a 2.0. Really like, okay, I'm ready to take over. Like, what helped you? What brought you confidence to start so confident right away? I was like, oh, okay, girl, you're ready. You're ready to take over.
I don't think I was confident. I had so much self-doubt throughout the whole year, like from beginning to end. Like, there would be times when I would go home and I would cry because I'd be like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not doing this correct.
Wow.
But there was times where I was just going day by day. Like, I lesson planned for the day. Like, today we're doing this. Tomorrow I'll lesson plan for tomorrow. And then that night I would lesson plan for the next day. But it was really like in front of the students, like, of course I wanted to be like calm and I knew what I was doing. So maybe that was
you projected that for sure.
But on the inside I was really like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going day by day. But it was just knowing, like, okay, I know I have to hit this standard today, so how can I do that? And just thinking of something that I can do, and just, okay, now I need to hit this standard. How can I do that? And it was, and how can I do that in a fun way where they're going to want to do it and they're going to be excited.
Yeah.
But
you kept pushing. You kept pushing through, and I really saw that you created a great positive learning environment. And I saw that you added a lot of stuff that didn't come from me. That came from you. Like, that's something that you brought. And also, you encourage students to develop a high work ethic. And the things that I saw, they also came from you. So I wonder if you don't see how much you did for the students, but yeah, I noticed a lot of things that I didn't teach her this. Like, this is something that she completely came up with. So that was just you pushing through.
Just me trying to get through the day.
Wow.
It was really a lot to, like, one thing I know I was, like, good at since last year, when I was a resident, was building, like, student relationships.
Yes.
That was something I'm like, okay, like, I have a lot in common with them still. So I know, like, all the lingo and everything they're into. So I knew that I can build the relationship, but I was also scared, like, are they going to see me as a friend and they're not going to see me as a teacher? So I know in the beginning of the year, I, like, told myself I'm going to come off, like, strong and strict. I'm not going to be their friends. And I did that for, like, the first week or so. But then after, like, we started to get to know each other, and I felt like because we had such a strong bond that they were, like, scared to disappoint me, so that would, like, keep them going to work. Even when, like, they would write something and they'll show me and they're like, did I do better? And I was like, yeah, you did better, but just do this. And I think that they would love to show me all their work. Like, I could not stop them from showing me their work. Like, I would have to tell them, don't show me right now. Go sit down. Show me later. But I really think it was that they just knew that I was, like, supporting them, and they wanted to make me happy in a way. Cause,
So do you think, like, this is something you learned during your first year as a teacher? Like, developing close relationship with students is pretty much the basics?
Yeah, definitely.
High work ethic.
Yeah, I think, like, if they respect you and if they, like, see you as, like, someone that you want to be friends with, like, they're going to want to make you happy. They're going to want to listen to you. They're going to want to do what you're doing. And I did see, like, I was, like, so calm, and I would just sit there, like, most of the time, and I would see them do the exact same thing that I'll be doing, or, like, say the things that I would say. Like, I would say, I'll wait. That was, like, something that I didn't even know I would say. But then all of a sudden they'll, like, yell out, she's waiting. And I'll be like, oh, okay. And then they started to, like, mimic what I would be doing. So I was like, damn, like, they really
connected with
they
you.
They observe and
so deeply.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's what, like, really helped them to want to do better.
Yeah. And I think they also saw that you were going above and beyond for them. Like, when you were planning activities or when you were doing community builders, the students notice. They see, oh, she's really trying. Like, she's buying this candy. She's getting all these resources. Like, she cares.
Yeah, I think so. And, like, again, it was, like, things that I'm like, okay, what would they like? Even if it was like, okay, I'm bringing Takis today, which is not healthy, but I was like, I know they like I know they like it, and it's going to motivate them to do their best work. And they did, and they were so, like, appreciative for anything that I would, like, do. I remember, like, to finalize their writing first semester, I just gave them a pen. That was literally all I gave them. Yeah. And they were so, like, excited for that pen. Because, and then I think I wrote, like, oh, you're a writer now. Take this pen and write. Oh, my gosh. And then I see students, like, crying, like, Miss, you gave me a pen. I'm a writer. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you're a writer. Take the pen. But it was, like, something so small. But, again, I felt like they saw that I saw that they were growing. And I was so proud of them that made them, like, want to continue that progress.
And you called them a writer.
Yeah.
That is huge. That is huge. You made them feel like writers.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah.
Wow. So I have, like, 5 questions, but we have only 5 minutes. One of my questions is, what is something that you didn't learn in the lessons that you had at LMU that you maybe didn't learn observing me, and that you learned on your own when you were a first-year teacher?
I would say, I think, of course, this is something not necessarily with, like, teaching, but, like, being a teacher is, like, knowing how to balance being a teacher and then having your life still. Because I did think last year, being my first year teaching, that took up my whole life, like, from beginning to end. Yeah. Like, I would be there early, and I'll be the first one in school trying to lesson plan, and then I'll be there throughout the whole school, and then I'll still leave late, like at 5, 6, like right when the school would close in the beginning, and then I would go home, and I'll still, like, finish lesson planning. Yeah. And I think that was, like, for the first 3 months or so, and it really took a toll on me, where, like, my family would be like, we don't even see you, like, where are you?
Girl, chill.
Yeah. And then, so then after that, I started to, like, okay, maybe when I get home, I'm not going to lesson plan anymore. But I will still stay, like, late, and I'll still get there early. But I just wouldn't do it at home anymore. And I think I just had to learn, like, how to balance that teacher life, because it's so different, I think, from, like, any other job where, like, you go in, you do what you got to do, and then you leave, and then you don't have to worry about it. I think as a teacher, there's always something to do. And you always, like, of course, want to do it because you want to be prepared for the next day. And me, I don't like to be, like, scrambling or doing anything last minute. I like everything to be, like, planned out. So I think that was one thing that no one taught me, not in the lessons, not
Yeah.
in the classroom, of course.
Mhm.
But it's something that I had to learn on my own, and I think slowly I started to get the hang of it. But it's still something that, like, till the last day, I struggled with.
Oh, I've been teaching for 12 years, and I can tell you, I'm still learning
Yeah.
to balance that. But sometimes, yeah, the experience let you prioritize. But you are someone who really likes to do things well. Like, I feel like whatever you do, you like to do it well. And as teachers, that takes a lot of time. And then the mental load also is tremendous. So, my final question would be, what is something you would like to tell people about what it means to be a teacher? Maybe you can say it to families, or you can say it to other teachers, or you can say it to non-educators. You already said something, like being a teacher takes a lot of your time, but what is, I don't know, a message maybe if you would like to give to people?
I think if you want to be like a teacher, it's so rewarding. Like,
Yes.
it's stressful,
Yes.
but like it
Yeah.
really like touches your heart, like seeing your students grow from beginning to the end of the year. And yeah, it's like a whole different feeling. And I knew that it was something I wanted to do, but I didn't know that I really was gonna love it. Like, I ended up loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if that's something that you want to do, like, go for it. Like, getting there, I think it's a lot. Like, there's many steps that you have to take to become a teacher.
Yeah.
But once you are done with that, like, being in the classroom is like a whole different feeling that you can't even imagine until you're there. Yeah.
I agree with you. And I think your students are very lucky. I think you are really, really making a difference. You are making a huge impact on your students' lives. I don't know if you understand how much of an impact you're having in their lives. You're so sweet, so understanding, so calm. Like, your calm demeanor really helps them learn how to regulate their own nervous system. So thank you very much for coming to my podcast. I really appreciate it, and it's been a pleasure and an honor working with you.
Thank you.
And I know you'll thrive. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.